Oh yo, DragooX is back and welcome to another video here on my channel, guys. And today I want to show you finally my Greatsword and Dagger build. You guys all want to know it, and thanks for the great support under the gameplay video. And yeah, today I want to show it to you guys, and I would say we start directly with the gear that I'm using here in this build, and I would say we start directly with the weapon. And here I'm going for sure with the Ardentos Greatsword, at the moment the best Greatsword in the game. Later I would switch this weapon for the T-Wind one when it drops from the Arc Boss, but at the moment Ardentos is the best option here, with tons of base damage that we get here. Base damage, not bonus damage, so it increases all our skill damage by a lot. Depends how much health we have. So in this build we play on a lot health, so we stack up the damage here super high. The weapon gives us strength, critical chance and construct bonus damage. Construct bonus damage is not so important here, but strength and critical hit chance is definitely nice. I have two traits unlocked here at the moment, heavy attack chance and hit chance. The third one would be crit hit chance, but I don't have it unlocked right now. I need more unlock stones first. The daggers that I'm using are from the dungeon, the red pink ones, whatever, and they gives us also base damage when we use a dagger mobility skill, like our gap closer, or when we go invisible, then we increase our base damage by another 25. Here we have a maximum of 60, so it's 85 base damage that we can get by our weapons. And you guys can see, without this, we have already around 500 base damage, and we nearly get 100 more. And then we hit nearly 600 base damage. And yeah, guys, this is mad, I think. Attribute points, I'm going with 15 to strength here, 40 dex, and I have 46 in perception at the moment. For me, 46 is at the moment enough on our server. Maybe when you see a lot of people play evasion builds, then you have to go with more perception, I think. At the moment, this depends a bit on your server, how the people are geared and what is the meta on your server. This is every time a bit different. For example, on our server, I think 46 is at the moment enough, but maybe later when the people have better gear or changing their builds, I need maybe more. Yeah, but for the moment, it's enough. The armor that I'm using, I'm going here with a head of the Field General. Field General set gives us 150 heavy attack chance, so this is basically 15%. I'm going here with the head and the shoes at the moment. Maybe later I switch for the hands. They are not in the game right now on our server. It's from the Aridos boss, and yeah, I have to wait. So I'm going here with the Field General head, with melee evasion on it, max health, and at the moment melee endurance. I want to change this to range evasion. When I have unlock stones, I unlock this with an item. There was a cheap one. I don't know, someone make a mistake and put the extract cheap in the auction house, then I bought it. But normally I want melee range evasion on it. The cloak that I'm using is the Night Slayer mantle, and this mantle is hard to farm when you're unlucky. I think I spent like 20 hours farming trees to get this mantle. You have to kill these tree monsters and they can drop it. And yeah, but it's a good one. It gives us melee evasion and crit chance, so perfect for our build. The chest that I'm using is the resistance one. It gives us also melee evasion and max health. Overall, guys, I'm buffed. Yeah, without the dagger buff, I have at the moment 1656 melee evasion. And when you have this build perfect best in slot, this goes even higher. I'm not finished with the build right now. This is also important to notice here. It's not finished. You guys see it. There are some traits are not maxed and stuff like that. And when everything is finished, you even hit more. And when you buff up with the dagger skill, I think you get also around 700 evasion on top. Range evasion, we also hit a decent amount that we can dodge some abilities. It's already okay when we have like only 33% chance to dodge an attack from range abilities too. This is already not bad. Magic evasion is the only one that is a bit weaker here in this build. But for magic attacks, when I'm fighting mages, I focus them first for sure. So when I see mage, I go first for them because they have the highest hit chance against me. I dodge all the other attacks. Or you can go invisible against them and focus them first. So you have to play smart against mages. But overall, for range and melee, we dodge a lot of attacks already, and this makes us tanky enough. And we have a good health pool. This is also important. Hands that I'm using are from the Infernal Herald. Yeah, I told you guys, later I want to switch them to the Field General hands, but at the moment they are not bad because they give us strength, dex, bind resistance is not so important, but it's okay to have. And I have melee evasion, mana regen, and ranged evasion on it. I put mana regen on here because sometimes, especially, I also do PvE at the moment with this build because I don't see a reason to make two different builds. PvE is not so hard. And in longer fights, I get sometimes mana struggle because, yeah, we don't have high mana regen. And with the passives of the dagger, we get mana regen, but only when we kill enemies. But when we're fighting a boss with this build, for example, that have no adds that you can kill, then you don't get the mana regen from the passive. So this is why I have mana regen here on the hands at the moment. Later, when everything is best in slot, maybe then I will see, maybe I focus only on PvP then, and then I will also put something else here. But at the moment, mana regen is for me not bad for the PvE content that I have to play also to get the gear. And yeah, this is why I have it on here at the moment. So maybe choose one piece when you don't have the perfect trade there right now. Go with mana regen and it can help you in the early game to sustain. The legs that I'm using are from the Ebon Roar, and I have here ranged evasion, melee evasion, and debuff duration on it. This legs gives us dex, damage reduction, and melee evasion. Damage reduction is also important because it helps you a lot against daggers. I mean, dagger is in PvP not so often the skills, but crossbow, when they hit you, they have tons of small hits, so damage reduction 10 points, 10 damage less from each hit is a lot. So it's nice to have minimum one piece with damage reduction in your build that you have a defense against these players as well. The shoes, I'm going with Field General. Movement speed is not bad. Strength is also not bad, and as long the hands of the Field General are not in the game, the shoes and the head are together a good option here. I have melee evasion on it, movement speed, and ranged evasion as the traits. Bracelet, I'm going here with the Primal King one that gives us a lot of perception, some bonus damage, and yeah, that's it. Traits I have unlocked: max health, debuff duration, and skill damage resistance. Necklace that I'm using is the Collar of Decimation, and this necklace gives us a lot of strength, also melee evasion on top, a lot melee evasion. And the traits that I have unlocked right now is skill damage boost and health regen. But for sure health regen I would swap later. When I have the possibility to switch the trait here, I would definitely do it. But this is a world boss item, so it's a bit tricky every time you need unlock stones, or yeah, you need to buy it in the auction house, but this is super expensive. And this is why I have health regen on it right now. But I would definitely reroll this. And the traits that I normally want on it are skill damage boost for sure, instead of health regen, max health. And the third one that I would choose here is buff duration. Okay, next item is the, we go into character info. The rings that I'm using, and here I'm going with the Edged Alabaster Band. This ring gives us attack speed, strength, and stun chance. All three helpful in PvP. Stun chance is also important, so we want to stun the enemy with a Greatsword build. You go for the stuns, this is the combo that you do there. So stun chance is definitely super helpful here. I'm going with the traits buff duration, skill damage boost, and max health here. So you guys can see we have a lot of items that gives us max health. So we hit a decent amount of health for the Adentus 2H and for the 2H passive that I show you later, guys. The next ring that I'm using is the Amber Dimensional Band. Gives us simply strength, dex, and movement speed. The only trait that I have unlocked here at the moment is skill damage boost. And before I go out of this menu, I'll show you quick the belt that I'm using, because this is a blue one that you can farm super quick in the public dungeon. And it drops very often, so you can also unlock all the traits quick there. And it gives us simply melee defense and melee evasion as well. The traits that I've unlocked here are max health, debuff duration, and skill damage resistance. Okay, to the Amber Dimensional Band. The traits that I would use when I can unlock them all are the following one. Wait. I would put on max health for sure here as well, and also buff duration. Yeah, I could do it now. I have 62 trait unlock stones, but I'm waiting for, I want to unlock the third trait here on the Adentus 2H. I want the critical chance here. Okay guys, this is the gear that I'm using here in this build. Now I would say we take a look onto the skills. And here I'm going with the following defense skill, the block blade from the daggers. This is the best one. When you have a perfect block, you get invisible. Yeah, so they can't hit you at all for 3 seconds. This helps you a lot when you do the perfect block. It also gives you magicka. So this helps you with the sustain in boss fights as well, because when you have the perfect block there, then you get also magicka to sustain. And in PvP, when you have the perfect block, you get magicka. And in PvP, when you block, you get also invisible. That can help you a lot there. So this is why I'm using here the block blade defense skill. The next skill, that is basically a bit like a spammable in this build because it has a super low cooldown, but deals good damage and also AoE damage, is the Cruel Smite skill. And when a hit is a heavy attack, you reduce also the cooldown with that skill, so you can spam this skill very often. The next skill that I'm using is the Shadow Strike. This is our main gap closer here, and yeah, this skill is simply mad. You can also silence your opponents so they can't use any skill. You can bind them, and this skill is simply the best dagger skill in the game and a must-have when you play dagger, in my opinion. And this skill is simply mad. It has a super long range. When you put the skill specialization on it, then you have a super high range with it as well. So this skill is the best gap closer in the game, 100%. The next skill that I'm using is the Precision Dash. That skill gives us simply heavy attack chance. We use it to buff up, or sometimes you can use it for mobility, or it simply outplays some enemies as well, because you get a bit distance when you charge through the enemy, so they can't hit you with a melee attack, and then you dash back. So that can help you to outplay an enemy that use, for example, a charged attack. So you can dash out for a moment and then you can dash back onto him and he misses attack. The next skill, the Brutal Incision. This skill is a bit like a finisher for us, because when the enemy is low, we get 600% crit hit chance. So this is like a finisher bit for us, but you can also use it between sometimes. It's a strong hit that helps you a lot, and especially, like I said, when it's finisher range, this is normally 100% crit hit, so this hit is nice to finish the enemy off. The next skills, the 4 skills here that I have here, are my Greatsword combo skills. So I'm doing the following combo the most of the time when I have tanky targets. Against squishier targets, you have different combos that also work when you combine them in different ways. But this is the main combo that I do against the enemy that is full health and feels tanky. So I'm doing here the Stunning Blow into the Frost Cleaving. Stunning Blow, for sure, stuns the enemy for long duration. Then I do the Frost Cleaving. This is an AoE skill that hits twice and makes a lot of damage. Then I do the Death Blow. This is also a hit that is very strong and deals more damage when the enemy is stunned. Then the enemy is still stunned after these 2 attacks. I'm using the Scanning Slash. So this skill brown our targets, so they lay on the ground, can't move again, are stunned again, and the skill by itself deals also a decent amount of damage. So they are stunned on the ground, can't move, still stunned. And then I'm doing the Guillotine Blade to most of the time finish the enemy off already, because this skill will shred them. It's so much damage when you charge it completely up, then it will, yeah. You saw it in my my gameplay video. I one-shotted just with this skill a lot of people already, even when they were full health. When you have a heavy attack on this skill and they are on the ground, they are the most of the time dead. Only tanks survive this maybe, but all damage dealers are. When they get hit by this combo and they don't evade it or don't block it, they are dead to 90%. And with the Guillotine Blade at the end, you finish them off, and when they are still alive, then you can stun them again with the Devastating Smash if you want. And then do one of the spammables here, because they are ready then again, or the quick skills here. So you can use them then to finish them off while they are stunned again by the Devastating Smash here. Yeah, this is AoE stuff. In different situations, you have to do different combos. When I see a mage is, for example, squishy in the back, often it's enough. I go Shadow Strike on him When he's bind by the skill, you can use the scanning slash as well to put him on the ground. And then I'm doing a charge or not charge, depends how much health you have then. Guillotine blade and they are dead. Then you still have no cooldown on the stunning blow, frost cleaving, death blow, or the devastating smash. So you still have other opportunities to kill the other targets then when you have multiple targets around you. So you don't waste all your cooldowns on one player. So you have to play smart for sure. You can make different combinations in this build to stun your opponent. When I see there are multiple people, they stack together, I jump in with the devastating smash, stun them all. Sometimes I do directly the frost cleaving, but you can also do first a scanning slash. So you jump in, you stun them all, you choose one player that you put on the ground, and then you put the frost cleaving on top of it. So you deal great AoE damage then when they stack good together, and you will kill probably the player that is stunned on the ground with the scanning slash and the frost cleaving. So there are different combinations that you can do. This is the long combo with these 4 skills into the guillotine blade for the tanky players, or when they are full life and you don't know how tanky he is in a 1v1 situation. But you have also different ways that you can do here. I hope you guys understand. If you have questions to this, feel free to ask me in the comments for sure. I try to explain it a bit to you here. And when you want to see this live, then check out the gameplay. I maybe put also in this video here some gameplay at the end, depends how long it is. If not, I make extra videos because I have tons of gameplay saved. Yeah, what should I say? If you have questions, feel free to ask me, please. Passive skills that I'm using. Here I'm going with the Vital Force that gives us, for more maximum health that we have, magic melee range hit chance, skill damage boost, so we deal more damage, and stun chance. So this is another reason why we stack up health so much in this build. Next passive, Assassin Step, or when you PvE sometimes against bosses, it's better to use the Rictor's Morale for the Magicka sustain. But in PvP, Assassin Step, OP. You get tons of movement speed, 33% right now, and when it's fully leveled, it's 37% movement speed. So you're super quick, and this can help you a lot, especially when you gank the player. Yeah, you go into a group, you kill one, gank him out of stealth, whatever, and you get super high movement speed, and you can simply run away when they chase you too hard, because you are definitely quicker than them then. Next passive, Assassin's Instinct, gives us simply crit hit chance a lot. So this is why we use the Assassin's Instincts here. Shadow Walker, in my opinion, also one of the most important passives in this build. Gives us with level 4, and I think on level 5 it's 700 evasion. And 700 range and magic evasion is a lot, and it gives us also damage reduction. So this is another damage reduction source, so the skills from dagger crossbow builds that have tons of hits are weaker against us. The next passive, Warful Edge, critical damage, 17.4% on level 4 already, simply increase our damage a lot. The next passive, Raging Frenzy, when there are 3 or more targets around us, we get a mad damage increase, skill damage boost, 100 on level 1. When you level up this passive, it's getting higher, and this is simply crazy. A crazy amount of extra skill damage when there are multiple people around you, and in a war and everywhere there are tons of people around you. The next passive, Constitution, it gives us health regen and max health. On level 3 already nearly 2k, on level 5 it's even more, so we get also max health here. That is increasing also this passive then, and the Adentus 2H buff. And the last passive that I'm using here is the Cold Warrior. Passive gives us simply heavy attack chance against shocked or stunned targets. So in our stun combo we have a higher chance to have heavy attacks, double damage, and this is why we are using here this passive. And it also increases for sure the crit hit chance. Okay guys, this are the skills right now. Now I show you quick the specializations that I'm using here in this build, and I do it quick now. In the Cruel Smite, I'm going here for sure with the Cruel Smite, because normally the skill have another name, and yeah, this makes the skill how it is with the heavy attack cooldown and stuff like that. And I'm also going here with the damage increased. After the skill is used, you increase your damage by 5% for 2 seconds. The next skill, Stunning Blow, I go with the cooldown reduction here, damage increased and the effect duration increased. As Scanning Slash, I'm going with the damage increased, effect duration increased and cooldown reduction. Death Blow, I'm going with the cooldown reduction and the damage increase here. Frost Cleaving, the skill have also normally another name. It becomes the Frost Cleaving when you put the specialization on it. That makes simply the skill hit twice, and yeah, yes, it's a must have because you want the extra second hit as well. That is super strong. Attack speed, so we have more attack speed after for 3 seconds after we use that skill, and critical hit chance 300, so the skill will be a critical every time normally. The Guillotine Blade charges damage, so we can charge up the skill and deal a crazy amount of extra damage, cooldown reduction and AoE damage. And the dagger skills, I'm going with the Shadow Strike. I'm going in the Shadow Strike with the skill distance increased by 40%. When you're fighting against someone and you see him and he don't have this passive and you're still on distance, you can first jump on him before he can jump on you. This is why I've used this skill, and it simply helps you a lot when they try to run away. And I'm going with the effect duration increase here. Oh, I forgot to show you some skills as well, because I saw it there right now. I didn't talk about our buff skills. With the Da Vinci Courage, for sure we can heal up here. It increases also our max health and it gives us health regen. Passive healing over time. This is another skill that we're using. And the second skill that I forgot to show is the Camouflage Cloak, for sure the invisible skill. I saw it right now when I talked about the specializations, because in the Da Vinci skill I have here the instant healing active. Increase health by 200% of base damage plus 200. This is simply makes it a small burst here that we have. And in the dagger I'm going here with the Camouflage Cloak with the CC immunity. So we have some stun immunity and the cooldown reduction. Okay guys, this is normally the build that I'm using. A few things that I can show you at the end quick is the food that I'm using currently. I'm going in PvP often because it's cheaper. With the honey apple here, the roasted honey apple, gives us hit chance in PvP and crit chance. But sometimes I also use the steak here that gives us hit chance and heavy attack chance. Choose one of the both that you want more. I like them both. And as a utility one that you can also have active together with the offensive ones here is the max health and health regen here that I'm using. It's simply 300 extra health that helps you with the passives and everything again that I told you. Okay, I also want to show you the Guardian that I'm using, and here I'm going with the Lady Knight. She gives us a damage shield that is based on our maximum magicka. We don't have a high pool here, so the shield isn't crazy. It's like 2.5k, maybe 3k shield. This is not crazy. It can help you in some situations against some attacks to survive, but I mainly use it for the cooldown speed, so we get our stuns quicker ready, and when you have multiple targets around you, it helps you with the cloak, it helps you to get the stuns ready to stun the targets, because when you have multiple enemies, you need to stun them or they all stack on you and stun you or stun lock you and you can't get away. So sometimes when I also get stun locked, I try to cast the Lady Knight when they're all stacked on me to get the cooldown speed and to get the barrier. It's like an extra survival skill, or skill, you have 10 minutes cooldown on it, but you know what I mean. You can survive some situations with it when they're all stacked on you and you can't get out. Maybe you have the 1 second where you can get out, use the Lady Knight, try to get invisible and come out of the situation when they all stack on you and spamming stuns. Okay guys, this is the build, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. Have a nice day guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we see us in the next video, and bye bye.